Hey folks, I'm Chris and I'm your Commander Mechanic. We're into preview season and we're getting them hot and fast from Dominaria United. From the precons to Legends Retold to the standard set release, there's plenty for us to sink our teeth into. Before we dig in, I want to remind everyone to check out my affiliate Hairy Tarantula if you want to pick up any of these cards for your decks. Use my promo code CMDR5 for 5% off your first order, and CMDR Mechanic at checkout to help support the channel. Links to their sites are in the description. Recently, my friends at the Spike Feeders got to reveal Ramses Assassin Lord. This 4-mana 4/4 human assassin reads Death Touch. Other assassins you control get +1/+1. Whenever a player loses the game, if they were attacked this turn by an assassin you control, you win the game. Right away, this looks like the head of an assassin tribal deck, and in Commander, it's a way to extend your resources by picking on a single player, taking them out, and winning the game in turn. Why spend your time and effort whittling everyone down when you can take out the weakest, most vulnerable opponent? The fact there are about 60 assassins in blue and black means you can absolutely go this route. Packing a deck with Big Game Hunter, Cruel Sadist, or even Heartstabber means combat damage, evasive threats, and strategic attacks can actively win you the game. Very on theme for assassins. With Ramses being an anthem, it means every small threat does big damage too. In fact, you could make a tribal deck with Maskwood Nexus, so that everything is an assassin, and just pack it with small, unblockable threats akin to a Yuriko the Tiger Shadow deck, and just full send unblockable creatures at a single opponent. Turning a blighted agent into an assassin and making someone lose to infect would win you the game with Ramses out. Heck, the assassin doesn't even need to deal damage or connect. The losing player just needs to have been attacked by an assassin you control when they lose. So attack opponents with a Changeling Outcast, then take them out with a Strixhaven Stadium. Ramses triggers and BAM! You win. That's certainly one way to use Ramses, but I've been thinking over another legend that can go hand in hand with him. A legend that was largely overlooked initially, but has been getting better and better. A legend that also says, loses the game on her. It's Etrata the Silencer. From Guilds of Ravnica, Etrata is also a 4-mana Dimir legend. She's a 3/5 vampire assassin who can't be blocked. Perfect for what Ramses is looking for in a partner. She also reads, whenever Etrata deals combat damage to a player, exile target creature that player controls and put a hit counter on that card. That player loses the game if they own 3 or more exiled cards with hit counters on them. Etrata's owner shuffles Etrata into their library. That's right, another assassin with a way to make players lose the game. You see where the synergy is here, right? With Etrata and Ramses, if you make one player lose the game with Etrata, you win the game with Ramses. But when initially released, Etrata was the only way to get hit counters on cards. That means she'd need to attack a player 3 times to get hit counters on creatures to make just a single player lose the game. So many hoops to jump through, especially with the shuffle into your library clause. However, in recent sets we've received 2 more ways to get hit counters on cards, in a much more efficient manner. Both Mary the Killing Quill and Ravenloft Adventurer exile opponents' creatures with hit counters on them. Mary as a trigger and Ravenloft Adventurer as a replacement effect. This means that with either of these creatures out, you can wipe the board and voila! Multiple cards in exile with hit counters on them. And guess what? Both Mary and Ravenloft Adventurer are assassins too. It is perfect. This means we can run Assassin Tribal almost by accident, using Etrata and Ramses to take out one opponent and win the game all at once. It isn't the easiest in the world, but it's definitely sleek. You could also change the commander seamlessly between Ramses and Etrata depending on how you wanted to play. Do you want to go tactically and stealthily, a silent takedown? Or do you want to go loud with an army of assassins to overwhelm a single foe? Either way, giving your assassins evasion with a cover of darkness, very on theme, in order to exploit the fears of your opponents and find the right place to strike is the name of the game. Filling the list with board wipes like Toxic Deluge, Damnation, and the Meat Hook Massacre can make sure we've hit all of our opponent's creatures with one of our hit token generators out. Targeted removal works here too. Go for the Throat, Murderous Cut, and good old Murder do the trick in a deck packed to the rafters with assassins. We will need to make use of Black's tutors here too. We are going for very specific cards and trying to get fancy, so Demonic Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, and even Wishclaw Talisman are great options for throwing up a wanted poster for those high value assassins of ours. Blue's valuable in the list too. If we're going to be dealing combat damage, we can be drawing cards as a way of finding our high priority targets, sending them on a reconnaissance mission for instance. And more ways to win the game, or have opponents lose the game, just gives us more ways to work with Ramses. Revel in Riches, no doubt payment for our dirty work, and Vorpal Sword, because an assassin's weapon is their best friend. Both help us take out opponents in one fell swoop. Just cross your fingers there's not a price on your head when this deck's around. You can check out my full deck list for this brew in the description below by following the links to my sponsor, Moxfield. Moxfield is the best deck building platform in the world and makes it easier than ever to upload, edit, and organize your decks. Do quick searches, change the print versions of your cards, and even run playtests through their powerful interface. And while you're there, be sure to follow my profile for all my latest brews. Ramses is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to new legends in Dominaria United. There are going to be dozens of them. So stay tuned for cool brews and be sure to let me know in the comments which ones you want to see on the channel. As always folks, good luck and have fun.